What is going on, folks? I'm Des with DesFit, and today let's take a look at the Adidas Sport Edition of the Fitbit Ionic, and more specifically the Adidas Train app that's going to be exclusive to this device. So first of all, the Adidas Sport Edition carries a $30 premium over the standard edition Ionic. And for that $30, you'll get a special edition watch face as well as a really comfortable and kind of cool looking exclusive band. On the inside though, you'll also get the Adidas Train app, which has unique workouts that are designed to help you become a more dynamic runner. But honestly, a lot of these exercises transfer over to many other sports because they do focus a lot on core strength along with exercises that'll increase your hip mobility as well as increase leg strength. So you could very well benefit from these even if you're not a runner. You will still get Fitbit Coach, which I will be doing a review on that as well, so subscribe if you want to get a notification when that video comes out. But everything else should perform exactly the same in a fitness capacity, and you can check out my full review of the standard Ionic right here. So Fitbit is obviously taking a lot of inspiration from Apple's partnership with Nike with the watch face, the special edition band, as well as the app, but is that going to be worth your 30 extra bucks? Let's find out. So when you first launch the app, you can choose between 6 different routines that are currently available, including 2 that are going to be designed for before your run, 3 that are going to be more focused on strength and power, and then 1 post-run routine. So these are not actual running workouts. These are going to be more designed to complement your existing running program. So when you go to start each routine, you'll see the total duration, and then you can also view the list of the different movements as well as how long each one of them is going to take. Unfortunately, you can't click on a particular movement on the list to view a demonstration, which I think could be really helpful to get a preview of what you need to do before actually starting. Because even for someone who is fairly familiar with some of these types of exercises, they can be a little bit complex and sometimes just be named differently than what you're actually used to. But once you do press that start button, it'll show you a 7-second demo of the exercise. So yeah, only 7 seconds unfortunately, and that should probably be a little bit longer, especially for the first time you're doing the exercise, as well as some of the more complicated movements. And this would actually be okay if there was a pause button on this screen, but unfortunately there isn't, and all you can do is just start the exercise, which is kind of weird considering the left hand and upper right hand buttons aren't being utilized. However, once you proceed to the next screen, it's not labeled, but you can press the left hand button to view the demonstration again, which will pause the workout. But going back to the movement, you'll see the name of the exercise along with a countdown timer and then a background graphic along with your heart rate. You can also pause the workout using the lower right hand button, which will then allow you to skip to the next exercise, or you can just finish the workout right there. But once you are done with a particular exercise, it'll automatically go on to the next one in the routine, first showing that rather short 7-second demo. And then once you're done with the routine, it'll show a workout summary, which is similar to finishing other standard workouts that shows your time, average heart rate, maximum heart rate, and then your calories burned. So the interface is okay, but there's one big thing missing in my opinion, and that's going to be audio cues. Audio cues would make this app 10 times better, not only for explaining the exercise, but also serve as an audible countdown timer during a movement, very much like what coaches do in boot camp classes, as well as even providing inspiration or support like you can get with the Nike Run Club app on the Apple Watch. Now, I thought about this and the only thing I can think of is that really translating every single exercise into every single language where the Ionic is sold is obviously a huge task, so I can't discount that. It's an enormous amount of work. But anyways, the interface is not bad and definitely could be better, but in regards to the routines, I found these to be quite good. Now, this is not fitness advice by any means. These are just my thoughts and the experience. Being a decent-ish long-time runner, and my form may not be perfect in some of these examples because I was literally filming some of these the first time I was trying them. But starting with the warm-up routines, we have run activation, which is about a 5-minute routine with 7 different movements that'll help activate your core, open up your hips, and also have some short static stretching. Next, we have dynamic warm-up, which is another 5-minute routine with 8 different exercises this time that involve a little bit more dynamic stretching and then muscle activation. I'd almost like to see both the run activation and dynamic warm-up combined into one because they both offer some really good pre-run movements. Next up we have metabolic, which is going to be much more involved at 15 minutes with 24 different movements, with one of those being a rest period. This routine focuses a lot on building good form with plenty of push-ups, W's, and Y's, as well as building strength in your quads and hamstrings with these split squat jumps and then the lunges. And then this one is definitely an actual workout and provides a nice 2-minute rest period about half of the way through. This workout was definitely not a joke. My legs definitely felt all those split squat jumps, which can really help develop explosive power from your legs. And I was definitely sore after this one. Next up, we have strong stride, which is a little bit shorter at 10 minutes involving 19 different movements. And then this one does not have a rest period. It starts out again with a very light warm-up activating your core, and then moves on to exercises designed to help with form with a lot of push-ups, W's and Y's again, as well as building power with squats. Finishing out these strength building workouts is going to be power pace, which is another 10-minute routine with 19 different movements. Actually 15 if you don't count the rest periods. And then this one is slightly more advanced with rolling bridges, which will help with lateral core strength, marching glute bridges, alternating split squat jumps for that explosive power, and then lateral bounds being quick to stabilize, which would help increase not only your ankle stability, but also teach you how to absorb energy. They do provide a nice 20-second break in between those two movements, which I think is really key to making sure you're doing them correctly with the best form possible. And then you'll finish up with some lunges, push-ups, and some squats. Finally, we have post-run stretch, which is pretty much exactly that, a quick little 5-minute routine to do after your run. So after doing these routines a few different times, what's the verdict? Well, I like the idea a lot. It's really handy to have on the watch itself, and it makes it really convenient, especially if you don't like to carry your phone. These are definitely legit routines that are not fluff by any means, and they can be applied to many other sports other than running, but it could be a lot better with some improvement. First, I think the preview list of the movements should be clickable so you can view the individual demonstrations. Second, the demonstrations would be significantly more helpful if they had audio cues. Some of these, like reverse lunge, elbow to instep in place with rotation, took me a little bit to figure out exactly what I was supposed to do. Now, again, translating all these different exercises into every single language is definitely a huge undertaking, and that's probably the reason why it's missing, but to quote McConaughey, it'd be a lot cooler if it did. Third, the demonstration needs to be much longer than 7 seconds. There's already the option to move on to the next movement to skip over the demonstration. So if it was like 10 to 15 seconds, I think that could be really helpful, or just add a pause button to that screen. So just a note, I am doing this overview at the end of May, beginning of June 2018, so some of these things very well could change with firmware updates, and I very much hope they will based on some of these suggestions, and I'll do a follow-up if that does happen. But is it worth your $30? Well, I guess it kind of depends on how you look at it. Many people buy the Nike Edition Apple Watch because of the special band and the special watch face, which lends to some of its exclusivity. So if you're like me, who is self-admittedly an Adidas fanboy, I could definitely see that happening because I do think that the Adidas branding helps this device stand out from other Ionics. And the Adidas Train app is good. It's not fluff, and I think it's very convenient, but a few changes to the app would make it a lot easier to use and would make the experience a lot friendlier, and definitely would make it something that I want to use to complement the rest of my training. Anyhow, thanks so much for watching, but before you head on your run, if you don't mind, hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel for in-depth fitness and sports technology reviews. In the meantime, go have fun with your fitness, and we will see you in the next video.